Good morning, students. Today I am going to start a new chapter called as adaptation in animals. So in the previous class we learnt about the senses and the super senses. Okay. So how the senses work, the sight, the hearing, the smell, the touch. So we studied 5 types of senses and we studied how different organisms have different kinds of strong senses and how they are helpful. In this chapter today we are going to study about adaptation in animals. So first of all we will try and understand what is meant by adaptation. New word for adaptation is a very new word for you. Okay. Adaptation word is a new word for you, and also another word is also there, that is habitat. Habitats. Habitats and adaptations in animals. So this is the chapter today we are going to learn. Okay children? So today we are going to learn two kinds of things. One is habitat. So we will really listen to a story. Sheena went to the zoo with her father. She saw penguins. So Sheena went to the zoo and she saw penguin. So you all know animal penguin. So the penguin will be somewhat like this. Penguin will be somewhat like this. This is a penguin. It will be like this penguin. Penguin. So what is the interesting thing she observed about the penguin? Okay. So interesting thing is these were a special group of penguins called emperor penguins. Special groups of penguins called emperor penguins. Emperor penguins. And the specialty of this emperor penguin is they were the tallest and heaviest. They were the tallest and heaviest. Tallest and heaviest. They were the tallest and heaviest. They were the tallest and heaviest of all penguins. So emperor penguin is a special kind of penguin, which is the tallest and heaviest of all kinds of penguins. Okay. So what she saw, Sheena, what she saw in a zoo is that these penguins were kept in a place where it had lot of ice. Lot of ice was there. Other animals were not kept in a place where there were lot of ice. Other animals were not kept, but the place where the penguin was kept, it had lot of ice, cold condition, ice condition and cold condition was there. Icy condition and cold condition. Ice condition and cold condition was present. So she asked her father why they are kept in ice, why they are not kept in the normal place, why they are not kept without ice. So father gave the answer. His father gave the answer. What answer his father gave? We will listen to it. So his father told that these penguins are used to, means they have practiced or throughout their major part of their life they have used to or adjusted to living in very cold places. Very cold places, children. Now normally we know penguins are normally found in very cold places. Very cold places. This is their natural home. So the ice region or the cold region is the natural home. So normally you find penguins only in cold countries. We can't find penguin in our country. India is a hot country. It will be found in cold countries like America, Australia. So that is their natural home. Okay. If you bring them to hot conditions. Like in India, you bring them to Rajasthan. You bring them to Rajasthan, they will die. They will die. Okay. You take not only penguin, any animal out of its natural home. For example, if you take some animals from India, or you can take cheetah, lion, tiger, and put it in cold conditions, cold countries, America, Australia, Antarctica, they will die. Okay, we will try and find out why they will die. Why they will die. Try and understand why they will die. Why they will die. So different kind of animals live in different kinds of places. Like just now I told, some animals live in hot conditions, some animals cold conditions, some animals not too hot, some animals live on the trees, some animals live inside the land, some live in water. So this place where the animals live is called as habitat. This place where animals live or the natural home. We all have home. So after the buildings, you go to your home and we go to our home. Okay. So like that only every animal has their home. That is called habitat. Okay. Suppose when you go to your auntie's house or uncle's house, okay, what will happen? You may find it interesting for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, maybe 1 month. Then you feel like coming back to home only. You will be feeling I should go home. Okay. So after some time, because you will be most comfortable, happy, relaxed, easy when you are in your home only. Even all the animals are also like that. Okay. You take any animal from the forest, leave it in some other place, zoo or somewhere, they will not be happy. Many animals which you see in the zoo, they will be whining or they will be very sad, not at all interested. Most of them will die, most of them will not eat food. It may be tiger and lion. So normally you observe when you go to a zoo, they would have given full food. Means lot of meat will be put to the tiger. The tiger would have not eaten that food. It will not be happy. So all the animals will be happy in their natural habitat itself. No animal will be happy if they are taken out of their natural habitat. Like we also, animals are like that only. Okay, it may be cold, hot, grassland, desert, any kind. So if you take them out of their home, they will not be happy. So this natural home of an animal is called as habitat. Natural home of an animal is called habitat. Very important, children. The natural home of an animal is called as habitat. For example, shark are found in seas, big seas and oceans. And because it lives, so the habitat of shark is sea and ocean. Okay. If you bring it, leave it to the river, they will die, they will not be happy, they may die after some days. Okay, in the same way, different animals are there: cold region, hot desert, fresh water, sea water, grassland, hilly areas, plains, and forests. So a habitat is a natural home of an animal. Natural home of an animal. Habitat is the natural home of an animal. So now you understand why the penguins were kept in ice, because that is their natural home. If they are in ice, they feel that we are at home. Otherwise, they won't feel like that. Okay. So based on their habitat, there are different types of animals. Only based on their living place. Living place, there are different kinds of habitat. First is terrestrial animals. Terrestrial animals. Example, we only human beings. So tiger, lion, we need tiger, lion, etc. Example, terrestrial animals, they live on land. They live on land. Terrestrial animals, they live on land. They live, I will write, they live on land. They live on land. Terrestrial, they live on land. They are also called land animals. They are also called as land animals. Next, the animals which live in water are called aquatic animals. The animals which live in water, are called aquatic animals. They are called aquatic animals. So there are some animals like frog, which can live both on land and water. They are called amphibians. Example, frog. Okay, so once again I tell children there are three kinds of animals based on habitat. Terrestrial animals live on land, aquatic animals live in water, amphibians both live in land and water. Aquatic animals, example, fishes. Land animal, example, you can give lion, tiger, etc. We can give lion, tiger, and all the remaining animals. So, three kinds of habitat. So now first we will study terrestrial animals. Study terrestrial animals. So you already know that terrestrial animals are the animals which live on land. Okay? Are the animals which live on land. Terrestrial animals are the animals which live on land. So you will be knowing that, and we should understand that based on what kind of habitat they live or the place they live, the organisms have developed some special features. Those are called as adaptations. For example, animals if it is living in a cold region, it will have lot of air and lot of fat. That is an adaptation. That is an adaptation. That is a kind of adaptation. The special feature, the special features organisms develop or have to live in its habitat is called as adaptation. First we will find out what are the adaptation present in the animals which live on land. So which live on land. Okay. So if you live on land, mainly you have to move from place to place. Every animal will move from place to place. Every animal will move from place to place. Every animal will live from place to place. So most importantly, they need limbs or legs to move. This is the most important adaptation. But if you see a fish, they don't have legs. Yes or no? So because they don't need, they can't move with limbs in water. But in land, you want legs to move. That's why almost all animals, horse, sheep, tiger, donkey, all the animals have limbs to move. So normally on the land it will be very very hot. In water it will be not so hot. So that's why all the animals which live in the land have thick, dry skin. Thick dry skin. They have thick dry skin. Thick dry skin. Thick dry skin to prevent loss of water. If suppose our skin was very thin, frog has a very thin skin, what would happen? All the water in our body will get evaporated from the skin and we will die. So that's why the animals living on the land have thick dry skin. Animals living on the land have thick dry skin, and so every animal to survive they have to do breathing, take oxygen and give carbon dioxide. So if they can't do breathing, definitely they cannot survive. So all the animals which live on land will have lungs to do respiration. We also have lungs. We also have lungs. Have lungs. We have lungs which helps us to breathe. Okay. So based on their habitat, they may have hair or they may have scales on their body depending on their habitat. Like I told, suppose if any animal is living in very cold or land and a very cold region, they have fur, thick fur. What is a thick fur? It's a very thick skin. It's a very thick skin with lot of hairs. We don't have fur, we have only skin. But animals which live in cold land, they have thick fur, lot of strong hairs. Lot of hairs with thick skin. Lot of hairs with the thick skin. This is called fur. Okay. So in land, terrestrial animals only, there are many kinds of mountains, valleys, plains, rainforest, coastal regions, desert. So in this class, the coming classes or in the coming period now, in the coming time, we will try and only understand about two extreme regions, polar regions and hot desert. We will try and understand about polar region and hot desert. Okay. So, like I told, now we will discuss about two extreme habitats. Two extreme habitats. One is polar region, another is mountain region. First, we will discuss about polar regions or extreme cold regions. Polar regions are extreme cold region. Polar region or extreme cold region. So the animals which live in polar region or extremely cold region, like I have already told, have a thick fur. Thick fur. Fur. So to protect from cold. And very importantly, they have a layer of fat in their body, a big layer of fat. You take any animal which lives in cold regions. For example, you can take the penguin, just now we treated penguin. Penguin's body is very fat, lot of fat will be present below the skin. Lot of fat. Any animal which lives in cold organism. Blue whale, which lives 24 hours in the water, also has some thousands of kgs of fat. What is the advantage of having fat? They protect us from cold. So the cold will not easily enter through our skin, will not feel cold. Okay. For example, the persons who are very fat, they won't feel cold very easily. Okay, because the fat will protect from cold. The fat will protect from cold. And also another important thing about fat is if body is having fat, if you keep on doing some work, the fat will generate heat inside the body and keep our body warm and hot always. Like I told, even though it lives 24 hours in water, blue whale, its blood will be hot, body will be hot, inside the body it's hot because it has fat, and it will also protect from cold. So fat is very important to protect from cold and to produce heat in the body. Fat is very important. So this special layer of fat is called blubber. Special layer of fat is called blubber. This blubber is present in all the animals which are found in cold regions to protect from cold. So normally the animals living in extreme cold regions will be white color. White in color. You see polar bear, penguin, snow leopard, snow deer, whatever animal you see in cold regions, they will be same color, ice color only, white color only, color of ice only. Why? Because that helps them to catch their food easily. If an animal is also white and it is living in cold countries, even in the background of ice, no animal can identify it easily. So it can easily catch its food and eat. Okay, suppose there is one animal, you take leopard, cheetah, white leopard is there. Okay, if suppose a deer is there, deer is also present. Okay, it cannot easily identify the leopard. Okay, the leopard can easily catch and eat off. Easily catch. And if some animal is trying to kill leopard or some other animal, because they are white, they cannot be easily identified. They cannot be. For example, you take this blackboard. This blackboard is black color and I am writing on white. I am writing with white chalk piece. Suppose if this blackboard was white, if I use white chalk piece, then you could see the board or you cannot see the board. You cannot see the board because both should be opposite colors. If this blackboard is also white and this chalk piece is also white, whatever I do not see. In the same way, animal escape from their enemies. There will be many animals which want to eat another animal, kill another animal. Okay, so if their background color is same, if the animal is also white and background where it lives is also white, it's not easy to see animal immediately and then attack those animals. They can escape. This is a very good adaptation. Color is a very good adaptation. Next one is walrus. Next animal which lives in cold countries is walrus. Walrus is an animal which has tusks. Which has tusks like this. So like all the animals which live in the ice region, they are fat with lot of fat. They are fat and have a lot of adipose tissue or fat tissue to protect from cold. Okay. But another thing is it has tusks to make holes in the ice and do breathing. Okay. Suppose if there is no water only, suppose completely filled with ice, these animals will be inside the water and they need oxygen. So how they will do this one now? They will make from inside the water, they will make holes called breathing holes in ice. From that the air will enter and they will survive. So they create breathing holes. Okay. So walrus, like I told, is an animal which has tusks. When it is in water, okay, it is not a fish to completely live in water. It is like us only, it has lungs to do respiration. Okay, so when it is inside the ice, water it fully is covered with ice. Through tusks it will make holes and take oxygen. Okay, and also using the tusk, it will come out of the water. It will come out of the water. Next, mountain goats. Mountain goats. Mountain goats. Mountain goats. Mountain goats have large hooves. Hooves, they will be having large hooves. Okay, which are different from any other kind of goat. These goats are able to walk on uneven terrain. It can climb up and down steep mountains. It has thick fur also. Mountain goat has like a thick fur. Its body is completely covered by hair, and it has a very long and broad hoof, so that it can easily walk on mountains, cold mountains. Okay, because its hoofs are very big, it will not slip. It can easily walk on the ice also and uneven terrain also. Big hoofs. These big hoofs are something like a shoe, so that it can easily walk. Okay, not like our legs. Something they don't have. It's something like a shoe which helps them to walk easily. Mountain goat. Next, snow leopards. Snow leopards are white in color. Because they are white in color, they cannot be easily identified. That's why they will easily attack deer, goat, and they will eat them. And if some animal wants to kill the leopard, because it is white against white, it cannot be seen easily. It can easily escape. Okay, so that is an advantage of snow leopard. It has lungs. They have furry paws. Okay, they have paws. Paws means like this. Furry paws. Furry. The paws will be very big, thick, and has lot of hairs also. So when it has lot of hairs, when it walks on the ice, it will not slip because it is sharp. It can attach to the easily to the ice, sharp paws, and it has furry. It has lot of hairs also. It will not feel cold, so it can easily walk on the ice. No leopard can easily walk on the ice. Thank you, children. We will continue in the next class.